Hello, today is Thursday in the Octave of Easter. Um, and there's a lot in our readings today, but there is one, just a couple of lines in the gospel that immediately grabbed my attention. And Jesus has just appeared to his disciples. He showed them his hands and feet, and it says, while they were still incredulous for joy and were amazed, he asked them, and I'll paraphrase, got anything to eat? Yeah. I immediately have an image of a friend, in the house, or a sibling, or someone who's just over, and what normalizes this all is this experience of, just sharing a meal, and it's one more opportunity. There's multiple layers to this for me personally, but one of the first things that grabs my attention is it gives me an image of God that I can wrap my head around. And when things are especially challenging, it gives me a God, an image of God that's approachable. That's an experience, a very human experience that I can embrace. There's it's similar to the idea of we have that image in Scripture where Jesus wept. The idea that, like, there isn't a God that's up here and I'm down here and he's kind of got no emotion and I have all of this emotion. There's this idea of, like, when things are going on in life, one of the things that for all of us, I think it's the human condition that's so comforting is a meal. Isn't that the case? That we have a group called Glow. It's a small bereavement group in youth ministry. It's been a little different. That while we're virtual, it's just people getting together, and we introduce a video clip that introduces some aspect of loss, and then there are questions to facilitate the conversation. And we have a lot of things that go really well virtually, to my surprise, honestly, and it's been really gratifying to see. Glow, it always feels to me personally like something is missing. And it wasn't until I saw today's gospel that I thought it's the meal. That so many of the things that it has historically always revolved around a meal is that we literally come to a table, share a meal with one another, and then have this conversation. And the meal is what allows all of us to lower our guards and just have a very normal human interaction where we get comfortable with one another and we can kind of have that more meaningful interaction, where we're a little more open. The walls are a little bit more down for those questions. And I think about that for people who, at Easter, I saw a lot of people in the church, safely spaced and everything else, but more crowded than I've seen in a long time, and that was really gratifying. And today I think about the people who still either don't have access or are uncomfortable with a vaccine, or still just are really uncomfortable doing something as simple as sharing a meal. And to me today, the gospel calls me to consider, how do I take that idea of this meal, of what all of us, including Jesus in today's gospel, what all of us crave. We have this we crave comfort. We have the idea of comfort food. We crave the comfort of one another's company and the shared meal and this thing, and sometimes virtually that can be challenging, but today I'm reminded of that's my opportunity as a person of faith, is to say, how do I provide that meal, that spiritual meal, to nourish somebody today? How do I, who do I call? Who do I extend a hand to, so that they feel more comforted and more welcome and more safe and secure. And I think that's something we're all called to every day as people of faith. So with that, I hope you're all well. And I hope for those of you that I saw at Easter, I hope I continue to see you. And for those who were not with us, I hope that we see you soon. And until then, have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week.